We have fire. I think it's burning down pretty good now. Hello, welcome back to another episode from Pale Horse Survival and Tactical. I'm Bill. Glad you could join me. Today, I'm going to work on completing a pine hand drill project that I started some time ago. Hey, welcome back. What I have here is a pine spindle that I carved out of a pine branch. It's kind of an idea I had a while back. I don't know of anybody who's made a pine spindle and used it as a hand drill. So it was just one of those ideas I came up with, and so I carved it down and I started to use it, and it polished the socket in the hearth board. Wouldn't even get any char, and I started to smell resin. I go, oh crap. So what happened was, probably see that there. There's a band of resin, as luck would have it, that runs all the way through this thing. And I didn't catch it when I was working on it. Yeah, I whittled away on this thing for an hour and a half. It's just one of those projects I was working on. So I scrapped the idea, and I didn't want to go through the problem of whittling down another branch. It's pretty labor intensive. Then I recently had another idea to resurrect this project, see if we can make it work. I'm going to cut an L notch into the bottom end of this, going back around, oh I don't know, 2.5 inches. I have a nice dry piece of pine, ponderosa pine. It's actually from the same big piece that this came from, and I'm going to split that away from the resin, and I'm going to whittle it down into a spindle tip. It's going to be probably about 3-4 inches long. Well, I want the end to hang out over here about, the idea anyways, is probably about 2.5 inches or so approximately. And I'm going to cut the back end and put a reverse L notch on the back end of the piece that I cut so it fits in and mates into the L notch on this. And then I'm going to attach this using a compression lashing. That'll give me a resin-free tip. And then we'll give this thing a try. And see if we can get a coal with it. Pine hand spindle. I don't know of anybody who's done that yet. So again, it's just another one of those projects that my brain came up with, and figured I'd give it a try. So anyways, with that said, let's begin working on this. Stay tuned. Hey, welcome back. I'm over here at the old trusty split stump here. Ground's pretty wet. It had a pretty substantial storm that passed through the area here. Okay, not even sure if this is going to work, guys. We're going to give it a try. I'm going to make the notch. I want it deep enough here to where there'll be enough material when the two pieces are mated up and they're lashed that I'm not going to get play when I'm trying to use it. So excuse me. Probably go back at least a good 2.5, probably 2.5 inches here. Let's see if there's any bow in here. Just sight down. There is a little bow on this side, so this is kind of the high spot. So I'm going to cut it here, so when I flatten it out, I'll take some of that bow out. That probably should be enough here. So what I'm going to do is, I've got my fine tooth saw. I'm going to cut halfway through carefully. Kind of keeping my eyes on the woods. I keep hearing something moving, breaking. I hear branches breaking, so I don't know if it's a bear. It's been back over. I've heard it a couple of times. Sounds like it's maybe 60, 70 yards away, 80. So if I pause, I'm listening. You might even hear the cracks on camera. There was one a little bit ago, actually, when I first started this segment. So we're going to go down about just a little bit more. A little bit more. I think we're probably good. That's what I have right here. Spin it around on the other side. Whoop, there we go. Then what I'm going to do, I wonder if the camera picked that up. It's another one. It's right over in that area. Keep hearing pops and cracks. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to find right at the top here. I'm going to try and baby this and not be implying it's a soft wood. I don't want to stress this in too much and wind up cracking it off right here. That's going to be a weak point. So basically what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove all of this material across here at the same depth as the cut and make this as flat and even as I can. So I'm going to go ahead and work on this and I shall return. Stay tuned. Hey, welcome back. I just finished this, the end here. So this is what we're looking at. Squared the end off here to keep everything neat. And this will be the bottom edge where it's going to mesh into the other L notch. So I'm going to go ahead and grab that piece of pine and split a chunk out of it and start working that down. So stay tuned, I will be back. Hey, welcome back. This is the piece of pine that I'm going to split a piece out of. You can see the resin here in the middle. So I'm going to split a piece out of this rounded area here off to the side of that so we can bypass it. So I'm going to split it kind of wide and then just kind of whittle it down from there. Hopefully this thing will split relatively true here. I need about 3-4 inch piece would be nice that I can work on. I can always cut it to the length I need it. And it looks like it worked okay. I can get, so I'm going to match the diameter of the hand spindle. So I get a pretty good piece out of this. I'm going to save the rest of this so I can get other spindles or hearthboard out of that. So alright, so see, we're skinny down here. This is the end we're going to use. And we'll take it down to probably about here. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that. Actually, I'll leave this on as a handle. That will make a... leave this on so I can hold it while I'm working on the rest of this here. This is ponderosa pine, you can tell by that orangey reddish coloration to the bark. It's one of the easiest ways to identify that particular pine. So I'm going to go ahead and finish working this piece down. And when I'm done, my goal is to have a spindle the same diameter as this and about this long, and then I'll cut a matching notch to mate up to that other L notch, and then we'll go ahead and lash it on with a compression lashing. So stay tuned, I will be back. Hey, welcome back. This is where I'm at right now, and this is why I left this piece on here to be used as a handle. It's a lot easier to kind of acts as a helping hand to hold the piece that you're working on. But this is where we're at, and it pretty much matches the diameter of the spindle here. So what I'm going to do now, I've got a little divot here in the top, so that's going to be the top of our notch here. So line it up just like this. Should be a pretty good, I think we're pretty close on width. I'm going to lay it in here just like this. Make sure it's butted up on the end. I'm going to put a mark on here. There's the mark from the blade. We'll roll it over this way so this little divot's on top. That is going to be our top piece here. We're going to flatten the top of this out. Yeah, find my saw. Make sure I'm in frame here. The sun's coming in, and from behind the camera I can't hardly see the screen with the glare. And it's the same exact, getting this little divot here facing up. And it's the same exact deal how we did the other one, cut halfway through. Yeah, I think we're probably pretty good there. It's better to go just a little less than too much. You can always take material off, but you cannot put it back on. Thing's being a little awkward to work with because I could have put the flat area to match the handle so things would have kind of lined up, but I'm going to cut it here anyways. But with this little divot on the end here, that little piece right there, I decided to just take advantage of that and use that as the top. But that kind of makes things a little crooked, so I have to use my thumb as a reference here so I don't get things lopsided. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on this, get this cleaned up, and get it to mate with this one as good as I can, and then I'll come back and we'll lash this together. Stay tuned. Hey, welcome back. I finally got these notched out and got them custom fit pretty well. The two pieces go together not too bad. So I think that'll probably work. Whether or not the spindle's going to work to produce a coal, we'll find out. That's not too bad of an L notch. So what we're going to do first is cut this guy off the handle. Discard that. And once this is in, this will be our working end here. And I'll finish this up on the end. Round it out a bit and then get it prepared for the fireboard. Yeah, that's not too bad. Hopefully it'll line up okay. We'll find out. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to lash this with, I have some dental floss here. This usually works pretty good for doing small lashings. My allergies are kicking my butt lately. Get this lined up on here. Run this piece up here. Whoop, I'm not even in frame. Sorry, guys. Bring this camera down here. So I made a loop with the dental floss. It's a little unwieldy until it gets going here. It's a little bit rough to do by yourself. Okay, so get your loop up on the top and hold that there. So I get my thumb on it and get the piece lined up. You want to leave enough of a tail hanging down here so you have something to grip at the end. If the tail isn't long enough, you can be very frustrated. You won't have nothing to pull this loop through. Trying to find my tail here. There we go. Chasing my tail. So what you do, you start your winding and you want to get it pretty tight. Tail's running competition here, it's in the way. Try to get that tail out of my way there. So it doesn't get wound up in there. Well, it's fighting me, but I'm getting it. It's always rough at first until it gets started. And you want to make sure everything's staying more or less lined up here. Once you get to this point, it starts working a lot better. Okay, we've come to, whoops, don't want this to come undone. Come to the end. So pull it tight and then just hold it with the thumb like this. Run your tag in through your loop. Just like that. Pull that tight and then hold it with your thumb so it doesn't come loose. Go down to your other tag end, your tail, and then pull it. You're going to see that loop. There it goes. The loop just sucked in side and it carried that tail, that tag in, and there, see, as I pull it, you'll see that tag end going in. Just like that. And we broke, but we should be, it broke up inside, which is fine. We got enough in there on the windings. This is a compression lashing, and this just tightened itself down. It tightened onto itself and sucked that tag end down in there. So this is actually pretty strong. Looking at the spindle here, it should be okay. Spinning it on my pant leg to kind of get an idea. Should be okay. So this is where we're at. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to whittle this down on the end, round it out a little bit better. It's a little fat on the end. I want to narrow that just a bit. And then I'm going to blunt it off and get it ready. I've already got a hearth board already set up. So this lashing, these compression lashings, when they tighten down, I mean, they're really, really tight. You don't even have to tie a knot. It just tightens onto itself. And that dental floss being waxed, it's almost like bank line. It's got a little grip to it. Works really good for small lashings, hafting in arrowheads, fletching on arrow shafts. It really works pretty well. Pretty excited to give this a shot. And what I'm going to do here, I've got this top end notched. I've got 2 thumb loops here already on a piece of cordage. So I'm going to tie this. I want to keep this end up off of the wet ground. Tie an overhand knot here. Get it more or less in the middle. Best we can. Get these pretty even. Just going to go right on here in that divot. Give this another look, make sure we're more or less even here. I had one end that was a little bit longer, so I ran that through first on the overhand knot to take up the slack, and now it's even. So now I'm going to tighten that down nice and tight here. And that's what we have. So I will meet you guys over at the hearthboard. Stay tuned. Hey, welcome back. I've got the end all prepped out here, and this is a pine hearthboard that I've already used to produce a coal. It was about a week ago, so I know this is a proven hearthboard, and I've got the divot right there already in the hearthboard and ready to go. So I'm trying to find a spot out here to burn this in. I'll put the camera back far enough so you can see what I'm doing here. The way you use this, just put your thumbs through the loops, and this is similar to the gas pedal method to provide a constant pressure downward on the spindle while you spin it. Well, doesn't seem to be burning in. I'm wondering if it's just not possible to use pine for this purpose.